I know, it's the middle of July and we're about to watch my June raised bed tour. But don't skip it. Some of the biggest lessons in the garden happened before July ever arrived, and you'll actually understand what's happening in the next garden tour a whole lot better because of what you're about to see. We've got 45-pound blackberry harvest, succession planting, tomatoes hanging on through the heat, and some surprises I didn't even notice until after I was editing. So let's step back into June for one more look before we jump into July. And so we're out here looking at the raised beds. We start with the Greenstalk, and oops, turning it the wrong way. I turn this thing every once in a while, but I love showing this. This is the Italian flat leaf parsley. We just did this, I don't know, a few months ago and got new plants. In fact, we got this plant, I'm pretty sure. But if you look real closely, you can see there's seeds right there, all kinds of seeds. And it's real easy just to take those seeds. Now that I've got them in my hand, you just take them and drop them in an empty container, push a little soil around. There'll be new parsley there soon. That's how to never run out of parsley. You want parsley, just right out your back door. There it is. Rest of the Greenstalk, we've picked a few strawberries out of this thing and enjoyed it. And I have repented on this cap up here. I love this cap now because it just rotates real nice and easily because my irrigation has a tube in here and it just keeps it watered whenever the irrigation is going. Now I did turn off the irrigation yesterday to record a video. Forgot to turn it back on, so it's been off for, I don't know, 24 hours now, and it hadn't been run. So we're looking at these raised beds. Now I do want to show you first off, look at the blackberries. Yeah, now these are the blackberries here. Blackberries, we're going to start trimming these back. The harvest is done. You can see some of them are dried up. Some of them are gone with the birds. Some of them are gone with the squirrels. I've been watching squirrels come along and eat these, but these are spent vines. Now, we're going to be trimming these vines back. And you'll notice down here, in fact, we're going to be looking here at the Suyo Long Cucumber that's coming up down there. And that cucumber, about the time this thing is spent, and you see how woody these stems are? They're brown and spent and real brittle. These things are ready to come out. Now, these vines are a biennial vine, because what that means is the first year, which this is first year, you see how that's green? Well, this is the vine that grew this year, and it grew pretty big. All these other vines are old and brittle and spent, and these need to get cut out of here just in time for that cucumber plant to start taking off. So this is kind of succession planting. It's succession planting on a different level. You don't normally think about using things like perennials of some kind and growing that, and then in between harvests you start growing an annual in here. The cucumber will last so long, it'll give us a whole bunch of cucumbers. In fact, we're going to see over on the other side of this, there's actually two even bigger cucumber plants coming in over there, but we're not in that bed yet. We're in bed number 1. And the blackberries are spent. And so I'll be going in here and very carefully picking which vines to pull out. Now, you'll notice this one down here. If I zoom in here a little, if I slide in here a little bit, you can see it's actually green on one side. That's going to be our vine, for one of our vines for next year. And I'll be leaving that. Now, this is where this vine comes up, and it's going to get cut back pretty hard to the ground. Doesn't matter. That thing's going to put out new vines. By this time, well, by January of next year, there'll be a whole new slew of vines in here of those blackberries getting ready to produce us a 45-pound year. Yep, we had over 40 pounds of blackberries this year. Mrs. Bowtie wants to make blackberry wine if we can get through the house remodel far enough. And yes, we are still working on this silly house remodel. We will start making wine. We've got turmeric in here. We've got ginger. Isn't there a ginger wine? I wonder. And we've got all kinds of weeds in here that come out. This is a leaf flower. In fact, you can see underneath why it's called a leaf flower, because underneath every single leaf there is a tiny flower. And that tiny flower turns into a seed and plants a new plant. Means it comes up with a lot of plants. They are very easy to pull as long as you stay on top of them. And I try to stay on top of the leaf flower. Now this leaf flower right here has probably been in here a bit longer. It's going to have a little bit more of a root ball. Sure enough, see that? That's a bit more root ball than I like to let them get. I know this pot's been sitting here or pretty close to here, and just shake it out and we let the mower take it up later. Now back to those blackberries. I will point out down here amongst the turmeric and the ginger, see that green vine? Well, that's actually coming out of that stem that we were just looking at, that I was just saying it's going to get cut out. Well, this is going to be my marker of where to cut it down to, because from this point we're going to start getting new vines, and this vine right here is going to be a mighty new vine. It already has leaves on it, getting ready for next year, which is very exciting. So much turmeric. We actually have more turmeric in here this year than we did last year, simply because the bed is longer. The turmeric ended somewhere right about where this post is last year, so very excited to see how this does. Now, one thing I will point out here, this blackberry here, oh, that was just over our heads. Woo! Big old plane just over our heads. Had the tail open too. They're getting ready to drop some troops out at sea. Oh, let's see him fly by. There he goes. Wow, okay. You don't see that very often. Back to the garden tour. So this vine right here, you can see it has a green stem. That means this is a primocane, first year cane, and it's going to be a big producer. Now, turmeric likes shade. So while this thing is starting to make new vines, it's going to start shooting up over here. It's going to cover up here. It's going to climb down to bamboo and do this other stuff, start providing natural shade for the turmeric. And it all works together. So the turmeric is going to be another crop that's going to be in here. It's actually not going to be ready until long after the cucumbers are spent. We harvested turmeric last year in like the end of December, January, 45 pounds of turmeric last year. Oh, what a year. I want to show you these tomatoes over here. I'm going to go over to the other side real quick. So we are still here in bed number one. This is a Roma tomato. I actually just harvested one this morning. You can see in this picture there's a harvest here that we got of Roma tomatoes. Now that's actually the second plant here. The first one, yeah, you can see there's some more Roma tomatoes down here. But we're very excited to be able to get some Roma for sauce. We use a lot of things for our sauce when we make it. Even the Principe Borghese, which we'll see here in just a few minutes, makes fantastic sauce. So I am certainly not complaining about that. Now, if you feel moved to help support the Bowtie Gardens, everything that we raise on social media goes back into the channel and into the gardens. And we'd like to ask you to consider supporting the gardens financially. And the way we do that for you would be over on the memberships on YouTube. And if you join the membership, it starts at $1.99 a month. So they start out very cheap. And we have a number of members that support us a little bit every month, and it does all go back into the garden. It's very exciting when we are able to put a little bit more stuff in here. You'll notice we got a lot of flowers. We've got all kinds of new plants this year that we hadn't had before. And a lot of the times it's the members that actually help with that. So if you have not found us and you would like to help, go over to YouTube and hit that join button on any video or on our YouTube page and choose to support the gardens financially. Now, if you're not in a position to do it financially, please don't. Only if you are feeling moved that you have some extra that you can help. We appreciate it, but I don't want people to feel like they have to be a member to be able to enjoy and feel welcome in our content and in our community. And so it's one of the biggest reasons I say that if all you can do is watch or click the thumbs up or even comment, those are fantastic ways to support the channel as well. We have down here our Nebraska Wedding, I believe. And what is this right here? I'm trying to remember what this is. Yeah, this is Nebraska Wedding. Now, Nebraska Wedding is a wimp, okay? Let's just be honest. Nebraska Wedding is a wimp. We plant this. We've planted it several times over the past 7 years, and very rarely does it produce. I was hoping this year it would. There have not been very many blooms. It is not a great southern tomato, and that's just all there is to it. but it tastes so amazing. We were willing to take the risk and try growing it again. Is this another one of the Nebraska Wedding? Yes, that's another Nebraska Wedding there. Actually, 2 Nebraska Weddings there, but they just are not producing this year. I don't know. I try. One of these days I'm going to get the formula for these and figure out how to grow them in Florida. Now over here, this mess of a bed is actually a very exciting bed today. In fact, there's a plant right underneath here. This here, which we just harvested from this morning, those are dragon's breath peppers. Look at them. We actually picked a couple from this plant that were all red, and you can see in that picture right there, we had the dragon's breath, and then we have a MA Warthog right here. In fact, if I look underneath here, I won't be surprised if we see some peppers. I don't see any right off, but hold on to your horses. Hold on to your horses. Look at this plant right here. Those are MA Warthog peppers underneath there. They haven't changed yet, but my, oh my, they are looking beautiful. Those are going to be our super hot peppers. I sent a picture of that to Jason over at Allotment of the Dead this morning, and he agrees we need to start talking about when we're going to eat these things. The dragon's breath is going to be one live, and the MA Warthog is going to be another live. So be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that. We got down here, this is actually a habanero. I harvested a few beautiful habaneros off of this plant. You can see there are several more on here ready to get right. We're excited about that. That's going to be a good harvest. We have here another blackberry vine, but this is the one where I planted 2 cups. And someone said, oh, if you use clear cups, your roots are going to have a disadvantage. And I wanted to show you. So this is not a clear cup. This poor little bean plant has been confined to a cup. In fact, we're going to remove that cup here pretty soon. I need to do that and let that thing out. I know it's gotten out the bottom already, but if we remove that and give it its freedom, there we go. This bean plant, it's a Blue Lake stringless pole bean. Look at the roots that have gone down in here. They've just gone down and down into the ground. And look at the size of that stem. Now, the claim was that the clear cup would damage the plant and cause it to stunt it. So see how big this one, I mean, it's not quite as big as my thumb, but it's pretty big. It's pretty big, and it pushed its way through. I want to show you the one in the clear cup. And I tell you what, this was a really good lesson. This is half the size. It's really quite laughable. I'm going to let this thing out if I can. I can't. These clear cup, this is a newer cup than that other solo cup, and I'm going to have to cut it. So I come in here with scissors, and I normally keep these cups for many years and reuse them. Well, this was an experiment. This is going to be a cost of this experiment, is to get this thing out of here and give it its freedom. I will not doubt anyone that says that clear cups actually may stunt the roots of your plant. It's really a striking lesson for me. And so I've given that bean its freedom finally. Yes, I know, it's been screaming at me saying, help, all this sun on my roots. I don't know. I'm not going to doubt it anymore, but you can see this bean vine has grown up in these blackberries, and yeah, we're just going to have to sacrifice this side of the trellis. These things are actually going into this doomed decorative pear. This might be a Bradford pear. I'm not really sure what it is, but you can see it's climbing up in there. I don't care. This tree's coming down eventually. Let's get back over to the other side of our pepper bed and see what Mrs. Bowtie is growing in that direction. So you can see here Mrs. Bowtie's banana peppers. Oh my goodness, they are going crazy in here. She loves these banana peppers. She just did a video where she pickled those, and they turned out great. We got a bunch of jalapeno plants over here. Now I do want to point out, this marigold right here, this is a red Metamorph Marigold sent to me by Robin over at Robin Gardens. And she told me if you can get these things to go, they'll go. Well, this thing is huge. This thing is massive. I actually just cut out huge chunks of this and planted them over in the bean bed. and I'll talk about that in just a minute because it's actually sent to me for what's happened in the bean bed. And so underneath all this, though, we still have our jalapenos coming in. There's a number of jalapenos down here. Mrs. Bowtie posted a picture somewhere, probably on Facebook, about the jalapeno poppers we made, and this is where those jalapenos come from. So this is our pepper bed, and we are very pleased with what's coming out of here. I think she may have harvested from that plant more recently. Now this is the Day of the Dead marigold here from Look to Nature Homestead. He sent me these seeds, and these things have just taken off. Look at the flowers up there. I actually did a bouquet of flowers on Mrs. Bowtie's desk last weekend, and she loved it. It was beautiful for the weekend. It's actually still a little bit beautiful. This is more dragon's breath. Now this is the plant where I harvested a whole bunch of those that we harvested just this morning. And over here we have Joe's Long Cayenne all buried through here, and let me tell you something, they're in here. They are in here. I can reach down here and lift out, there's one right there, just several long cayenne peppers. There's a lot of grass in here. There's another one right there. And so yeah, real long, nice hot, nice spice to them, cayenne peppers. Another one of marigolds. We got turmeric growing in here. I really like growing combination of things because you don't get some pests as easily that way. And very excited about how all this experimenting is working out. Coming over here, you see Mrs. Bowtie's sunflower bed. Now this is one of them, and you can see she has one beautiful sunflower up here. She's trying to get sunflowers up because our neighbor has had his sunflowers staring at us like a judgy preacher over the fence, and we finally have a sunflower. Very excited. Now this was a sunflower. Look how massive that is. This was a very tall sunflower that fell down. There's a stem there. There's a couple of stems that have broken off in here. It's been kind of dramatic. Over here, I'm pretty sure that we have here a volunteer Doreset Naga. And if I lift this up, you can see down there, we actually have a few Doreset Naga peppers. They're looking like they are getting close to ready. So that's what we ate last year, if that is what I think it is. Otherwise, is that a ghost pepper? I don't know. That's a hard thing to figure out, isn't it? Yeah, back here at the doomed decorative pear tree, it's getting very tall. I really need to take this out. I did take off some branches because it was inhibiting getting over to that part of bed number 1 into the keyhole over here. And I did cut a couple of branches off so that we could both freely pass this way. It's less likely to get destroyed right now from someone's saw, but I need to pop these couple of branches off here. I just need to take the whole tree down. I just need to take it down. Now, one thing I do want to point out, and this plant down here looks very insignificant. It's sitting on the ground in a pot, and it seems to be really thriving in this spot. So this may be the replacement for that tree. This is supposed to be a Rose of Sharon, and I'm a little excited about it. I'm trying to figure out more about it, see if we can train this thing to be more like a lollipop tree. If we can, it's going right here. That's exactly where I want it to go. And it's been here a while. It gets irrigation, so I know it's getting watered. And I'm going to just let it be here a little longer. I do need to up pot it, but I want to let it sit here and just watch it grow for a while. I might watch it grow for several months before I finally do it. Occasionally you'll hear me mention other channels, and if you are on YouTube or Facebook, you can actually find those links either in the description or the comments below. You'll see a symbol that looks just like this in the upper right hand corner when I'm talking about something that there is a link to somewhere down below. So be sure to follow those links. Everyone that I talk about are friends of mine, are people that I have followed for years, and some of these people I've actually done collaborations with and on various projects, and we've become friends over the years, and I really enjoy their company. I really enjoy having them in the community. Of course, over on YouTube and Facebook, you can post pictures of your own gardens. Over on YouTube, we have a community page where you can go in and you can post your own pictures and tell us what's growing in your garden. And you're welcome to do that on Facebook. You can, of course, comment on any videos and include a picture of your own, a video of your own, ask questions. Sometimes people show us things that I don't know. Hey, I don't know it all. I'm still learning here. And I'm happy to learn from people like you that are watching and see something in here, say, I wonder if he knows this. You know what? There's a chance. There's a good chance. I love hearing those things. Now over here in bed number 2. This is another bed that we have in this cycle. Now, what is this? This is there's a vine growing on the vine. Okay, that looks a little like the Thai vine that I saw earlier. It's growing, there's a lot of this stuff growing up. Where is that coming from? Oh, it's in the bed. Or is it? Yeah, it's growing up in the bed down there. I'm going to have to trace that down and put a stop to that. Okay, interesting. So, Thai vine, you'll notice blackberries. You'll notice new-looking blackberries. See the green stems? See these old brown ones? But those green stems are coming out of the base of this plant. So I'll be cutting this down. In fact, you can see there's this place right here. It's drawing a line for me right there that I'm going to be cutting that right about there. So these new vines can grow up and start growing what this thing already grew. And we'll be cutting out those old ones. And like I was promising you a few minutes ago, here we have, finally, very excited, a couple of Suyo Long Cucumbers coming in. And Mrs. Bowtie has a new recipe. She discovered a little late last year, something she loves with these cucumbers. These are like the last of my saved Suyo Long seeds. So I'm very excited. We got something out of it. I've been sweating this because, well, Mrs. Bowtie ate all the cucumbers last year. We didn't leave any to go to seed, and I stress when that happens. So more blackberries. We'll be getting the blackberries off of all this. We're going to look over there at the bean bed here in just a minute, but I do want to show you what we have here. Here's a bell pepper. Now this is the Hossinator bell, and I wanted to show you, look it down here. These things are beautiful. And they're actually producing decent. We have several along here like that. We have a Principe Borghese tomato plant. It does these wonderful plum-sized cherry tomatoes. Now this plant isn't doing as good as some you're going to see at the end of the bean bed. Not sure why. I know we have a shade cloth over there. We have no shade cloth up here. And I don't know if it's just not enough sun or it can't be too much sun. I don't know. I'm not sure why this one just is not thriving the way the others. It's got a few. You can see we put bags on our tomatoes, and these help with the squirrels and the birds and the other things. If we miss one, it gets pecked by a bird most likely. But you can look at this Hossinator tomato. Now we're going to see a bunch more of these. That's a decent size one, but they get bigger than that. We've had them almost a pound, just under a pound. So that's a beautiful tomato right now that we're letting grow more. It's going to be beautiful. We have several. Now there's a couple of more big old bell peppers growing right there. But you can see there are a couple of more Hossinators growing right there. And I can get to a better vantage point so you can see that thing better. It's a beauty. It'll be another one of those nearly 1 pound tomatoes right there. More bell peppers. Here's another bell pepper right here that's starting to grow, and there's a citronella back there. Again, I like mixing in these plants to help confuse any potential pests, but that citronella, there's actually something over there that confuses pests even more as far as things that are looking for tomatoes or peppers they can feed on. We've never had good success with peppers. This year we've actually had some success with peppers, and we are very excited. Every one of these Hossinator pepper plants, sweet bell peppers, are growing a pepper, and it's just very exciting. Ooh, there's a spider right there. I'm gonna give him a little bit of space. He'll rebuild. But you can see there's a little tomato I just actually bagged today. It's beautiful. We're getting into the range of our Sungold tomatoes, and these things are producing. We've actually had quite a bit of Sungolds produced from these things. There are still some in bags. I did just harvest a whole bunch today. Ooh, see, there's one that's not in a bag. That thing needs to get put in a bag. Got to do that. There's a single one in a bag that's lonely. I probably already picked a few of the ones that are on there. Oh, these Sungold, they are so delicious. We'll point out down here on the bottom we have a mustard, and then growing on the other side over here we have holy basil, and that's this plant right here. And it's a basil plant. Again, when critters are seeking tomatoes to feed on, well, when you plant basil near them, you confuse their smelling senses and they have a hard time finding the tomato. You can see that holy basil's growing up there, but there's no tomato hornworms on our tomato plants anywhere. Not in this area because of that basil over there. And there's mint here as well. This helps control things like rats and other vermin that we don't want in the garden. I grow a lot of mint. I actually use the mint in my nightly tea. We dehydrate it, and you can see it's flowering, and oh, it just smells so beautiful. Yeah, this is beautiful stuff. And then coming around here, we have on the back side our Principe Borghese. Now, I did harvest these. Now, this tomato plant right here is really suffering. Oh, I probably should go ahead and pick. Oh, look here. Here's one we can pick right now. Oh, nope, we're not going to eat that one. I should pick those, though. Those are on a dead plant. Need to take care of that. Now, this tomato is getting buried in this holy basil, and I should take cuttings of that and plant out some more of those. We love our holy basil. We just bought this bunny plant, and I had never smelled holy basil before. So that was a wonderful surprise. Anyone who's already grown that knows what I'm talking about. But so we come down here to the end of the Principe Borghese, and we have over here hanging through, we have the Hossinator tomatoes sort of sticking through. But this is the beginning of the bean bed right here that we are not growing beans in this year. And the reason is because we got Root Knot Nematodes in here. Oh, it was terrible. Last year, the root knot really ate our harvest. We didn't get a lot of beans. That's just all there is to it. And so what I have done is we grew some of these red Metamorph Marigolds that, again, Robin over at Robin Gardens sent me. And she said these are great for fighting root knot nematodes. And you're supposed to till them in, and we will be tilling some in. This is actually a new plant that we've got sitting in here right now. And it has just been planted in the soil, oh, I don't know. It hadn't been a week ago. Now, this is one of those cuttings. Remember I showed you earlier in bed number 1 in the pepper bed, I had taken cuttings. Well, this is one of those cuttings. It looks real sad right now. I haven't had a lot of luck transplanting these, but this is almost a foot-long stem that I stuck down in this bed. So I'm a little optimistic that it might come back as soon as things start getting watering. Yes, I turned the irrigation on, so it should be coming along. Here's another one of those red Metamorph. Another one there, another one there. I'm actually tempted to go ahead, plant some of my last bean plants on here so we can try to get some beans. Those 2 experiments over there, those are beans. So we'll be getting beans out of those, but not a lot, not a whole lot. We do still have several cans of beans from last year. So a little bit discouraging on this side. Now, if you're on Instagram and you ever post pictures, please, oh please find us on Instagram. It's bowtielife_garden, just like you see on the bottom of the screen here. And if you're posting stuff, please tag us. I love seeing what's going on in your garden. A lot of times I get inspiration for just stuff that I hadn't thought of. And in fact, that Rose of Sharon over there, one of our members told me about what he's growing with those, and told me some of the behavior, and I'm figuring it out. One of the reasons why we're going to be leaving it in a pot to grow for a little while longer, just to observe it and see what it does. But Instagram, if you're over there, be sure to tag us at bowtielife_garden and let us see what's growing in your garden. Now, I know some of you are over on TikTok, and we are on TikTok as well. We have just started trying to give a little better attention to TikTok. We've kind of let it fall by the wayside, and we've kind of failed at that. So we're trying to make up for that and get more content over there. If you ever look across all 4 social media that we're on, sometimes one gets a video or a content out before another social media platform. So if you want it first, you be sure to keep track of us on all the social media, but check out Bowtie Life over on TikTok and see some different timing, different types of content. The aloe patch, I did pull a lot of grass out of here. We got it down. I need to get in here and cultivate this a little better. There's actually a lot of little aloe plants all along inside this grass, and I just need to get in here and get it growing. We've kind of let our strawberry patch go. It was a little disappointing because, well, we didn't have a lot of strawberry plants in there. You can see we have Citronella up in here. There's marigold back inside there. But this is all strawberry plants in here, and we'll be pulling this cover off and reorganizing this, getting all the weeds out. One thing we didn't do this year, I like going in and I like amending my soil with compost. And I did not amend this because this bed went from one thing to another rapid fire, and I just didn't have the time to go in here and amend it. So it has a lot of weeds in it right now, but there are a whole bunch of strawberry plants in here, good looking strawberry plants. It's going to start putting out runners soon, and we're going to be leveraging the runners when they start coming into a Greenstalk. Mrs. Bowtie wants one of her new Greenstalks to be a strawberry making machine. There's another one of those mint plants right there. I like the mint. And another marigold growing up over there. Now this marigold, a lot of this is experimentation, and you can see actually over there, you can see there are some marigold flowers down there. This is more underneath the magnolia tree, which is in this corner of the garden, and it doesn't seem to be thriving as much. And so we're really learning about what this marigold can do and where it can do it. We put this plastic up here because the squirrels are up in the magnolia chewing down branches, and it covers these beds with just little these magnolia leaves. They're like a hunk of rubber. When they land, they kill plants, and so we're kind of protecting our strawberries a little bit with this plastic right here. It holds the sun back a little bit, but I'm afraid that might be hurting us too. But yeah, we're still figuring out these marigolds. And from the marigolds, we come on over here to the end of bed number 3. We have a lot of random things in here. Again, where there's a bell pepper. In fact, that bag right there has a big old bell pepper growing in it. Turmeric. We have our Hossinator tomatoes. Now, tomatoes and peppers are both nightshade plants, and so they share a lot of the pests and predators, which is why I've got a lot of turmeric growing down here. That's what those broadleaf things are right there. And so I don't know that the turmeric helps so much. I do know we have this basil, and now that I think about it, we have, oh yes, right there, we have one sweet basil down here. Yeah, that's the sweet basil plant right there, and that helps deter predators, which is really nice for your beds. We come on down here, we have more citronella growing. Now this is not doing great, but keep in mind we're in shade. I don't know what to expect from this. I don't know how citronella will do in different situations. So I have a whole lot of plants going right now. We have another turmeric here, and this, I believe, what was this? This is gone, obviously. This is a Day of the Dead marigold, and it did not survive. Neither did the next one. Interesting. Now that's a good thing to notice. A lot of shade here. It doesn't have the sun that it probably needs, so I need to take a lesson from that. We have our elephant ears coming in here. There's a strong one coming in here there, but look at this big monster over here already. Need to dig this thing out and get it going. Now here, look at the leaf on this bell pepper. It's a huge monster bell pepper leaf. This is another Hossinator sweet bell, but there are no blooms, no nothing. So it's kind of here in the shade. It's underneath a shade cloth. It's behind this Sungold tomato, which is very thick. It's just not getting the sun it needs. Now it has these beautiful big green leaves, but it's not producing any peppers. So that's another good lesson for us to kind of take note of, which is the purpose of these videos. These are my personal journals. Let's go over the other side and take a look at this Sungold here. And so Tambra was asking on the first of the 3-part monthly garden tour series, did I miss the tomatoes? Well, no, these are the tomatoes, and this is the bed. This is one of those Hossinator tomatoes. It's actually produced a few for us. You can see there's one right here. Now this is a rather modest one. We normally pick them at this stage and bring them in and let them finish blushing on the inside to keep them safe from things. These bags do a pretty good job of protecting them though. But you can see here's a bell pepper, and we'll be that thing is huge though. It's beautiful. Oh my goodness. It's very firm, beautiful. Something's been eating these. I know we have slugs and stuff climbing up these. Not seeing a lot of tomatoes on this one. I do know I picked a couple off this plant already, so it might be getting ready to put out some more blooms for us. In fact, I can see evidence of new blooms coming out. There's some right there. They don't come out with racks for us. I see there's another one up there on that far stem. So we're looking at new blooms. Now, these tomato cages, these are the cheap tomato cages you get. This is just what we had this year. We are getting ready to make real tomato cages, probably out of cattle panels. We want to make something that's going to fit in here, be a lot larger, a lot sturdier, and support these things the way they need to be supported. Another one of those Hossinator tomatoes. Here's another beauty developing back here. Oh yeah, that's going to be a beautiful tomato. Here on the corner, of course, we have another. This is one of our big original citronellas. It's beautiful. This thing will grow enormous in this grow bag. I believe it was called a 10-gallon grow bag. I'm not convinced it's 10 gallons though. Coming down to the end here, we're looking at the remnants of our goji berries, and they have all lost their leaves. I have not done this the justice it needs. There's stuff growing down in here. There's a goji berry plant there that's really suffering. This used to be a really good one too. I do notice, and I'm going to go over here to the side. I showed this vine right here. It comes down here. This is a goji berry vine right here, and it's trying to find a new home, and I may have to do something with that. I'm not very pleased with how all these sticks look. This is it here. That's all that's left. My goodness, this is not good. We got a number of goji berries off of it though. And that's the outer garden bed tour. Very excited with the production that's going on in these beds. Mrs. Bowtie has her tomatoes and peppers going. I have my hot peppers, turmeric, and ginger going. We're getting a lot of production out of the beds this year, so we're very happy with everything that's happening. It's very encouraging. So, and it's kind of interesting because you say, well, there's not a lot going on in there. There isn't. We get enough. It's just the two of us. We don't need a lot. But the fact that we have what we have growing here with very little effort. We've worked at these a bit. The raised beds, they're great because they drain real nicely, and we have irrigation, so everything gets watered frequently. It does these plants very well. We're kind of hanging on for those Suyo Long Cucumbers because that's like the last seeds that we have, and I'm just praying that they hold on. Yeah, we ate all of them last year with Mrs. Bowtie's recipe that we're going to share this year sometime. If we can get them to grow, oh my goodness, we're going to get them to grow. I am speaking it into existence. Be sure and hit either the thumbs up or thumbs down on this video. I do appreciate it. Please comment, ask any questions you might have, but please share your experiences, what's growing in your garden right now, and what kind of things are you harvesting right now. Obviously, tomatoes, peppers, oh my goodness, those Dragon's Breath peppers. Jason and I are working on it already. We're looking at the end of August, beginning of September. We're going to have a live where we're going to eat those peppers live on camera. And then we're going to, that's incidentally, in case you didn't catch it, 2.48 million on the Scoville scale. That's twice of what a ghost pepper is. Yeah. And so then the MA Warthog is supposed to be hotter than that. All we know. So we'll have to see what happens there. We're going to eat both of those on live. Not one live, it'll be two different lives. I'm starting to train for that here very soon because that's some hot peppers that I need to be able to stand. Yeah, oh my goodness. This is insane. This is totally insane, but you get to laugh right along with us and mock us, have fun about it. We'll survive. So looking around at these garden beds, we're having production. It's not pretty beds. It's just the beds we like to have. We've created these, the colors on these bricks here. These are the colors of our house remodel. Everything carries inside the house and out. They're not pretty beds. But frankly, they're beautiful for us. They're not perfect beds, but they are ideal for us. And it really comes down to the thing I always say. Your garden doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day, friend.